What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie. No, I'm actually not back with another movie review, but I'm back with another review, and this time it's for a TV show from Warner Archive. It is The Mask, the animated series, the complete first season. So, if you're not familiar with The Mask, obviously it's the Jim Carrey movie, with all the catchphrases and the Tex Avery inspired CGI. This TV show is based off of the movie, not so much off of the comic book, which had like a darker, a little bit more violent tone. This falls much more in line with the movie, and it pretty much just picks up where the movie leaves off. Stanley Ipkiss still has the mask. He's still kind of a mild mannered guy most of the time, but the mask, calls to him and he has to put it on from time to time. And also, in the show, the mask ends up getting put on other people, whether it's the dog, the baby, some kind of a villain, or there's, other mystical powers at hand that are trying to get to the mask. So there's a lot of different storylines here. If you like the movie The Mask, you'll probably, at least appreciate somewhat some of the stuff that happens in this one because they are kind of similar stories, and it's just cool to see what happens, when the mask falls into all these different hands. And it's also nice because even in the live action movie, which had a lot of visual effects, there are some things that you just can't do in live action that you could do in a cartoon. So a lot of the restrictions of what, could happen when the mask was used are taken off in this show, which is, again, kind of a neat thing because anything could happen. Instead of just having a few visual effects here and there like in the movie, you can just have total chaos throughout, every episode here, which isn't always the case, by the way, because even though there is a lot of kind of nuttiness and over the top stuff, there's also some like kind of simple basic cartoon storylines here that aren't like world in peril. They're just kind of like fun little story, like a babysitting job that goes awry, which I like. It's kind of cool just to have a basic simple episode every once in a while and then have just wild crazy stuff, as well. It's a nice balance, and I think this season definitely hits that. The lead voice actor does a pretty good job. He doesn't do a Jim Carrey impression so much. It's just kind of a similar take, so that's kind of nice because I really feel like after so many episodes, a Jim Carrey impersonator would have really grated on my nerves. So I was happy to, that that's not the case. It's got a pretty much a who's who of voice talent from the 90s here. So there's a lot of recognizable names as well as guest stars like Tim Curry. The animation is rough. It's a 90s cartoon show. If you're familiar with that era, you know about what to expect here. Things are kind of simplistic. There's not a lot of detail, but I did appreciate the character designs. And I do feel like whenever the mask is used, there's some good detail as far as, the things that happen then as opposed to, the more normal scenes, which are just kind of super simplified. At least when the mask, comes into play, things kind of get a little bit more detailed and immersive. So it's not great, but for the time, it's definitely more than acceptable. And I think it looks good here, which is really what matters. This first season is 15 episodes. They're pretty much self-contained. There are some minor things that arc over the entire, season, especially the more like character-driven stuff, like catchphrases and recurring characters, but nothing, huge. The issue or this DVD issue from Warner Archive, it just has the episodes on it. It doesn't have any extras, but like I said, the episodes look good, which is about all you can, the main thing that really matters. It would have been maybe nice to have some extras, but it is what it is. In the end, I like the show. I think it's really fun. I think it's a good time to watch. Again, aside from just the animation being a little bit rough, I think there's just a lot of stuff to like here. I think if you're a fan of like old school Looney Tunes type cartoons, this show is pretty much right up your alley. It's got a lot of that goofy, over the top, I guess violence, but it's not like violence. It's like cartoon, just goofy, hitting people with stuff, taking pratfalls, physical humor and sight gags, stuff like that. I liked it. It's definitely inspired by like Tex Avery and the Looney Tunes stuff, which makes sense because that's where, the character of the Mask was inspired to come from in the first place. So anyway, that's my review of The Mask, the complete first season. Definitely recommend it if you're a fan of animation or cartoons or just 90s culture in general. Because it definitely has a lot of stuff that says 90s, written all over it pretty much. And the DVD set from Warner Archive is nice to have. I think it was actually issued at some other point this first season was available, but it's nice to have it back in print, and hopefully we'll get some, the rest of the season soon. I think there's 2 more seasons. I think there were 3 total. So, thanks for watching this video. I do greatly appreciate it. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at MarkFusion, as well as Letterboxd by under the same name, Mark Fusion. You can see what I've been watching there and get an idea of what to expect, what's coming up on the channel soon. You can also drop a sub if you really like this channel. I would greatly appreciate that as well. It's a free, easy, direct way to support me. help me to keep making all these videos and talking to you guys about the movies and TV shows that I watch. And watching old videos is also a massive, massive help to me as well. I don't have a lot of TV shows on here, but there are some, and there's also a ton of Warner Archive movie reviews as well, if that interests you, as well as animated movies. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon.